Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I've just got these 4 Gloomspite Gitz from Warhammer Age of Sigmar Games Workshop. This is my interpretation of them anyway. I decided not to go for the black. I did a very dark blue. I made my rocks as usual. This is broken up. Sometimes I use it's cork that's put in for expansion joints on laminate flooring. I presume they use it for other stuff as well, but this is actually cork floor tiles. I bought a pack from our local DIY centre years ago. I've still got enough probably to last me another year or two, and I just break them up, rough them up sometimes around the edges or on the top depending what I want to do. And that's good enough for these guys, and it gives them a nice flat platform when I want to put one on like this. Put a bit of magenta and violet in places. Again, just I'll try to use colours that tie everything in, so there's some violet under his main robe there, and there's a bit mixed in with the shield there. Done non-metallic on the sword. I don't do a load of it, but this is rough. It was one of those happy accents where that's where I more or less wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be too clean, but I didn't want it to be rusted up either. I just thought to myself, well, they're in these caves and tunnels waiting to pop out, and they've got nothing to do with the time than sharpen the swords and whatever, so they'd be a bit more shiny. That's my interpretation. Use some putty to make some little shrooms, just to put some interest on the bases. There's it from behind. It's just about to look around the camera to see where the next little guy is, and I'm just mixing them up. Some the ones I'll show you in a minute. Some unpainted. I'm just doing 4 at a time, and I just put them to the side and work on them when I want to. Oh, and I just slightly scalloped out pared it away, scraped it away with the scalpel blade where his robes, they're a bit flat there, so I've just scalloped it out very slightly. I did think of putting the Dremel in there with a burring tool, and I just thought, no, let's keep it fairly simple. Used a lot of laser yellow, green for the last highlights. I wanted that. I didn't want the more insipid pale green that Games Workshop do. I wanted a more of a yellow one. I just wanted to stand out slightly more from the black robes. Tufts are obviously made by me as well. As I say, I just add the shrooms occasionally in places without. I didn't want too many because I'm sure they'll get knocked off. But so that's that guy. They're not been varnished. Oh, they haven't been varnished yet. At the moment we've got some really cruddy weather. I've got a ton of model stuff that needs priming and painting, like the little stummel that needs doing. But with the way the weather is at the moment, if I have the windows open, they'll be wrenched off their hinges. So it's supposed to be quite still tomorrow, or calmer. No rain. So hopefully there'll be some modelling updates coming up. The Bad Moon Crescents here, I could have done really with. I did actually think of painting them yellow just for the Bad Moon. That's the Bad Moon on the shield down there. And I went with obviously non-metallic. And I could have done with this really being a bit darker probably, because it tends to be a bit the same. It's not the same colour, but it's the same lightness as the tones, whatever you want to call it, as the net itself. As I say, some I've got standing up on rocks, or I will have throughout the army, and some will be flat on the ground with just a bit of rock around. There will be some photographs at the end. I'm keeping all the boots that they're wearing are just whatever brown I've got on the palette, to be honest with you, is what I put on. I'm not really fussed, because as you can see here, by the time we put some tufts around, can't see them anyway, but they are different colours. But I'm not trying to go for a particularly you know, they're all, I suppose I could have made some lighter coloured hoods, but I thought I needed to keep them roughly looking all the same. So they're all going to have the violet under, like robe, whatever, underneath, and then these ones on top. A couple of the like shamans or the big heads I might put, I've seen in the instructions that they have, or the painted versions, they've got a couple of painted like embellishments on the outside of the hood, so I might do that, but only on the head sheds. I thought that sword came up quite well as well. I've just done a luminous power sword on my Autarch for 40k, and I'm having a right game with that, because it's not something I've got the hang almost of doing at this stage of non-metallic. But and as I say, you could polish that up a lot more, you know, get it a lot more brighter, but I didn't want it too bright, like it was some elven type thing, and I didn't want it too rusty either, you know. I wanted it to be somewhere in the middle. And again, by adding just that bit of violet and magenta into the cheekbones, the nose, and it just adds a bit of difference to him. There we go. I keep looking around the camera because it's because the figures are tiny, because they're little goblins. They're a lot higher, and I'm having to look around sort of over the camera. I'm having to look around it. These are 4 that have been stuck together. All you have to do is stick the shield arm, and this. I'm told these are fairly old sculpts, so there's not a lot you can do with them. There's not a lot of, you know, difference. They give you a range of options, because these are called stabbers, and you get shooters, which are arrows. You can put arrows on them, bows and arrows on them instead, but you're supposed to keep the unit the same. And this is classed as a stabber, by the way. I'd have thought it'd be more of a doinker, but hey. But yeah, there's a few shield differences. They give you a couple of different options. I think there's about 3 or 4 in the box. But I'm going to brush paint these. I cleaned these up last night because I thought, oh, the winds and rain's supposed to go on Wednesday. I can finally get the windows open and start getting me stummel painted. I've got another model I've been building that needs to be primered and stuff. I thought I could primer these at the same time, but I think I might just brush paint these, because that's all. These were just brush painted with AK black primer, which you can brush or airbrush. I tend to find airbrushing with it though, I have to do a lot of cleanup afterwards. So yeah, there's not a lot of stuff you can do with them, but that's fine. I'm really looking forward to doing the squig riders when I do them. But you know, again, you add a few shrooms, different colours on. I'm not sure if the green really works on that one. I might just keep them to reds and purples. But yeah, you know, a few rocks, and you know, you've soon got a bit of, you know, again, height differences as if they're clambering over the rocks and that. You can still make a fairly, I wouldn't say uninspiring, but you know, that you can't do a lot of differences without heavily converting them and stuff. And I wasn't going to go down that road with these. So yeah, there we go. Videos coming up, I've no idea. Be a bit slow probably in the next week or two, just mainly because I've got different things in different stages, and probably I don't know what I'm actually going to be showing yet. So we'll just see what happens. So yeah, Gloomspite. Start again, Gav. Gloomspite Gitz, and they're from Games Workshop's 40k Age of Sigmar game. I have got I've put a name to my channel, my second channel, that I'm going to do specifically for these Warhammer projects, and it's just going to be called Gav's Warhammer. Gav Paints Warhammer. I know it's catchy, isn't it? I was sick and tired of trying to think of stuff, or the stuff I did think of for channel names somebody had already got, or it was too near somebody else's, and I didn't, you know, want to do that. So yeah. I'll still be putting the completed ones up on here as well, because they're part of my figure painting, but I'll go into more in depth, and I might do a few painting under camera, or you know, some where I don't want to bore people that aren't really interested in this type of thing. I don't want to bore them too much, and the other way around, those that are only interested in this type of thing aren't going to want to see my model ships, model anything else, or Napoleonics or anything, or busts or whatever else I paint. So that's why I decided to get a second channel going. I've got nothing on it yet. When I do get it going, I was thinking, seeing if I could paint that autarch first, which he's in stages of paint at the moment. So if I paint the autarch, I'll show me Space Wolf off, and that kicks it off, and a bit of an explanation of what I'm going to be doing on the channel. So hopefully I should launch the channel probably in the next week or so. Anyway, look after yourselves. So a few photographs at the end. I've tried different ways of, because they're so small and there's such small bases, it's trying to photograph them without getting your sausage fingers in the way, and I just couldn't do it. So unfortunately it's all sausage fingers in the way of figures, but not much I can do about that. But really enjoyable. Couple of deep mould lines on them because I think they are older figures, but because they're such simple figures, they're easy just to pare away and then sand off really easy. So if you fancy doing yourself some of these little goblins, they're really easy to clean up. As I say, completed pose apart from the arms and the shield, which you just obviously, and they fit on really well. They stick in really well. We've got this top of the, if you just see here, this fold of fabric there, and your arm more or less goes just slightly under it, so it looks like it's part of the fabric that's ruckled over the top. So I've not filled any of these. So yeah, you might want to try it. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.